As members of the Southeast District Major Crime Unit continue into the second day of this investigation, they have not yet identified a suspect in the death of Taylor Van Diest. Our officers are continuing to follow up with residents of Armstrong where this senseless crime took place. Some information has come in, and the public, and this is very much appreciated. However, we are appealing to everyone in this close-knit community of Armstrong who may have had contact with Taylor during the day of October the 31st from noon to 8:45 p.m. that evening to call either the Armstrong RCMP detachment or the Vernon RCMP detachment. In this electronic media age, the police believe messages were sent back and forth between friends with Taylor Van Diest, and the police are asking anyone who was in contact with Taylor on October the 31st to please call them or Crime Stoppers. The message or the photograph you sent or received may go a long way in solving this crime. As the community of Armstrong deals with this loss, we want to assure each one of you that we have a dedicated team of over 30 experienced police officers focusing on identifying the person or persons responsible for this crime. The RCMP is aware that this tragic event is very prominent in the minds of everyone in Armstrong. The police are asking everyone to consider taking a few extra steps towards ensuring their personal safety. We recommend traveling in a group or asking parents or friends for a ride. Travel in areas of the community that have good visibility. Let family or friends know where you are going, when you are expected to arrive. If you have a cell phone, please carry it. Report any suspicious crime or activity right away. The autopsy will be conducted tomorrow in Kamloops. I don't have an exact time on that, and it is anticipated some of the results will be released the day after. I will take questions now.
It sounds from these warnings you're giving that there's nothing to say that this crime couldn't have been completely random.
We don't have a suspect at this time, as I said earlier, so we are just reminding the public to be cautious, as they should on any given day. Sometimes what happens when we live in a small community, we don't always remember some of our safety precautions because we figure, well, it won't happen here. It's a small community. We know everyone. So even though you're in a small community, we need to let everybody just be aware and be aware of your surroundings at all times.
So, sir, you don't know then if it was random or targeted?
At this point, we do not, no.
Gordon, let's talk about this message on October 31st. What are you getting at there?
What we're getting at is we believe that there were messages sent back and forth between her and friends. There may be some information within that message that will be useful in our investigation. We want everyone out there that may have some information or a timeline. We're trying to figure out all of her movements up until 8:45 when she was found. So we can put a timeline together of her movements there that may go a long ways in assisting us in solving this particular crime.
Are you talking text message, Facebook?
All communication. Could be a phone call, could be a text message, could be a photograph that was sent back and forth as she was getting ready to go out. No piece of information is too small. Sometimes people think, well, it may not be important. We're asking, please provide that information to us. Let us decide.
Could you confirm she had serious head injuries?
I can't confirm any injuries at this point. We have not completed an autopsy in this particular case.
Oh, you told us yesterday you didn't know who she was going to meet. Do you know who she was supposed to meet yesterday, on Monday?
I don't have that information, who she was going to meet. We know she was going out, and I think our officers, investigators are still trying to put together all of her actions and where she was going and who she was in contact with.
Do you know who she was going to meet, or you're just not releasing that info right now?
I don't have that information you have to appreciate we have over 30 officers bringing in information. We're only into our second day, and I know that it's not, but it's still very much in the beginning, right? We're still pulling in all of this. Before we're done, we may wind up speaking to over half of this community. We have a very small community, and one bit of information may lead to us going to speak with someone else. We're hoping to get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible, to put the minds of the residents of this community at ease. We want answers as well as they do.
We know that she was dressed up for the night?
There are indications that she was getting dressed up to go out. We are working hard right now to establish what it was, and if possible, be able to present that to you so you can get it out for us in the near future. Is that going to be tomorrow or the next day? I don't have that answer right now. We are working hard to get that information so we can get it out so that it may jog somebody's memory.
These teens who found the cell phone, have they been questioned? Do they know her? Or are these just random people that don't know her that found that phone?
I don't have the answer to that, but I know that our officers are in contact with individuals who dealt with her immediately and then are working out from there.
Was she found clothes? Because we keep on asking about the costume, whether or not she was wearing a costume. We were led to believe that she was dressed as a zombie for Halloween. So
We know that she was dressed up. However, there are conflicting reports of what she was wearing, and we are trying very hard to establish what she was wearing, and then, if possible, be able to get that out because somebody may have seen her walking on the side of the road.
Did she drive anywhere or was she on foot?
My understanding that she was walking.
And she was obviously going somewhere then.
Absolutely. She was out in the community. She was going out, and she was walking, is my understanding.
Well, there are reports that she was going to a Halloween party. Can you confirm that?
She was getting dressed for Halloween. And whether it was a party, whether it was to meet somebody, then go, I don't have all of the timeline. And that's what we're trying really hard to establish. The investigator has mentioned this morning, we really need to be able to say, this is where she went within the day, this is the timeline, and that may go a long ways to helping us take to the next level here.
Gordon, can you see how many tips you've received and have any of them been concrete yet?
They are telling me that information is coming in. From the public, I don't have a number, but they are following up on every lead. Yes.
Can you clarify, how she was found? Was it the result of her texting, stopping, and the family going to look, or was it prompted by strangers happening upon the phone and phoning contact of hers and then she's found? Or is it both?
My understanding is it is a combination of both, is my understanding.
Had you heard reports of a friend of hers sending a text to the media indicating that the victim was being, quote, creeped out by someone online?
I've heard that there was a number of different reports gone out. What we were trying to establish is what is real and what takes off as a result of I heard, you heard, and the story embellishes. And that's what our investigators are trying very hard to establish right now. As you can appreciate, when information goes out to one individual, then gets forwarded on and gets embellished, and by the time the story gets out there, it is not what was originally put out. And sometimes in those cases, we have to try to get back as close to get the pure version as we can so we can move forward from there. And I believe that's one of the issues that our investigators are facing at the
How
present time.
close are RCMP to solving this case?
We don't have a suspect today. As I stand here in front of you, we don't have a suspect. We are doing everything we can to get to the bottom of this case. We have a dedicated crew, and I know they worked till into the late hours last night. They're back at it again this morning. We are pouring all the resources available here from the North Okanagan to deal and to get to the bottom of this crime. We want to know who did this and bring it to a successful conclusion.
Has Taylor's boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend been questioned?
I don't know who has been questioned. I have not been told. I know that many, many people have been spoken to.
What are search and rescue looking for? Anything specific?
Search and rescue are one of the resources that we use on many, many investigations, because they have a group of individuals trained to search for all kinds of items. Not only that, they have the resources to call in from all over the province. So we work very closely with search and rescue. So anytime we would have a crime scene that is not confined to a small area, we utilize search and rescue to assist us to look for all kinds of things. Okay, it could be lost people, it could be for items that are there. Is it significant? We don't know. We'll collect it, we'll find out later.
So search and rescue is like going through that part of track between the yellow police station, but that doesn't mean there might be evidence outside that crime scene area. So what should people, what should the public be looking for? Are they looking for a part of a costume, or maybe?
When I can establish that, we will see to it that that gets put out to the public. And like, as I said to you before, there is a little bit of conflict information around what she was wearing when she left. When we can establish that, we want to get that information out for you to assist us, because you are the conduit for which people watch and go, oh, that jogged my memory, I will make that call.
Who was the last person to see her alive?
I'm not sure if it's a family member or not. I don't have that at my fingertips.
Or does the family live near Rosedale Avenue?
I am told they live within several blocks.
What role has media, or has Facebook and social media sites played in the investigation?
Social media plays a great role these days, because what happens is individuals immediately get on, send out information, sometimes prior to. So we are looking at the social media side of things to see whether or not it is going to be beneficial. Has it, to what extent, I can't tell you right now. If, yes, that is a piece of the puzzle that we are using, but we're definitely following up on a lot of social media stuff.